Hello, in this video I want to speak about the scandal that happened in Rochdale going back to the early 2000s and in basically 2011, 2012. High-ranking police officer Maggie Oliver resigned from the Greater Manchester Police because of the cover-up and, in my opinion, corruption of the abuse and rape of children in Rochdale. And I'm going to say this as it is, by 97-98% of Pakistani men. Now this is how I see it. Anybody who sexually interferes with a child, doesn't matter what race, what religion you are, you should be put to sleep for good. That's how I see it, it's that simple. A paedophile, the lowest of the low, in my opinion, Ian Brady, Margaret Hingley, Ian Watkins, you can't get any lower than him, ex-singer with the Lost Prophets, actually coercing young girl fans to have children so he could then abuse and penetrate them children when they were born. That's as low as you can get, in my opinion. Now, a paedophile will attack and abuse any child of any race or any religion. Now, the attacks I'm going to speak about now in Rochdale are on par and worse than Ian Watkins, in my opinion, because these are premeditated, 100% race hate motivated rapes on young British children by Pakistani men. They don't abuse anybody from their own faith, their own religion. It's always white British girls, and to be honest, a few Sikh girls, Hindu girls have also been abused by these animals, monsters, pure, utter shithouses. And the establishment, the police, have covered this up, full stop, from day one. And I take my hat off to Maggie Oliver. She resigned from her job, gave it all up, and she's crusaded for these girls ever since. Now, it's took 12 years for the answer of the results of this inquiry to come out about the abuse in Rochdale. Over 1,000 girls raped. 1,000 girls raped. One was even kept in a dog cage, and these is facts, and actually had to bark and act like a dog. Another one was purposely injected with heroin, heroin overdose and killed. Now these kids, 13 and 14-year-old, abandoned by the system, abandoned by the establishment, and it's absolute scandal that's been allowed to go on. And to this day, on this report, over 1,000 girls abused, and there's still Pakistani men that was involved in this abuse, this filth, that are still in Rochdale, still haven't been prosecuted, and this is still going on. You've had so-called MPs and people of the people coming out and saying these young women were let down. These were not young women. These were children as young as a 10 and 11-year-old. And it's been just left to go on and on. More or less in every city, major city in this country where there is major population, high populations of Pakistani men. People mightn't like what I'm saying, but I'm speaking the truth. With this Rochdale case, two of these filthy shithouses were to be deported on release from jail, and because of the human rights, they're allowed to appeal. And believe it or not, one of the excuses for one of these animals not to be deported was his son needs a role model. And you actually had British people outside the courts protesting in favour of these animals. This is what you're dealing with. And us, the silent majority, we've got to wake up. It's no good. The same's happened in Rotherham, over 1,000 girls abused. And in my opinion, again covered up by the system and the establishment. Again, the majority of these people doing the abuse is Pakistani men. Anybody, whatever race or religion, like I said in the first place, should be put to sleep for good. Anybody not from this country, regardless of race, religion, if it's a sexual crime or a violent crime, no ifs, no buts, get them out. We need to start taking this country back instead of just sitting back and saying nothing. Every major country now in Europe is resisting and rising against what's happening with mass, in my opinion, illegal immigration. This country didn't want it. Brexit's proof of that, but we've been betrayed down the line, all the way down the line. It'll continue when Starmer gets in. He'll be no better than Fishy Sunak. So I'm going to leave you with that, people. People need to wake up and see what's happening around you, because this is just going to get worse and worse and worse. Inch by inch by inch, they get more of their own ways and more of their own customs in this country. And they've got no regard for British custom or history, full stop. We're bending over far too much for them. So I'm going to leave you with that, people. Bye.